So today, normally we would French each bone, and you would truss. But today we're gonna go with a boneless ribeye, and so I'm gonna show you how to completely remove the bone. If you would like to keep the bone on, this is what you would do. You would just come right on down to the beginning of your loin on each side. You just carve that center piece of meat out. It's not necessary, but it does help for trussing. All right, here we are. We're at a spot where we can pick to truss. And so what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna cut this whole ribeye in half. And so normally you would need a bandsaw for something like this, but if you have a sharp enough boning knife, you can follow through where these bones meet together, and then you can follow through with a cut. For natural separation. Now that I found the separation between the bone, you can take a larger slicing knife. That'll help you get more of an even cut right through it. So now you got your 2 prime ribs. I will show you how we're going to truss with the bone on, and then we're going to remove this bone, and then we'll show you how to truss without a bone. Some people may ask, why do we go through the trouble of trussing our protein? On the ribeye particularly, you can see how the outside cap is on here. When you roast at a higher temperature, this piece of meat typically wants to come away from the eye. So when you truss it and you hold it, this is going to hold it, and it's also going to ensure that your protein cooks at more of an even rate. So let's just do one truss between each bone. Should be fine. Trust me on this one. Nothing too tight, like so. So now you got your truss ribeye. You ready for the seasoning stage? Now if you decide to go boneless, all you would do is just continue to follow the natural separation where the bone meets your protein. And so you can just kind of draw through. You'll notice some resistance where the bone will stop you. Literally when you go back, you just kind of follow it all the way down, leaving as much as the protein intact on the loin. Now your loin is completely separated from your bone. You may ask, what am I going to do with these bones? A dog loves chewing on beef bones. But also, if you'd like to, you can just whack them apart, freeze them, roast them in the oven, and you can make a delicious beef stock for a later date. Now we're going to truss our boneless side of the loin. Notice how I started in the center on my truss. You can see how it kind of squeezed the loin together. You're just gonna, really, what you're trying to do is that in your first knot, that's why I leave the string rather long. You just kind of want to pull it together like so. It doesn't need to be extremely tight, much like when you're tying your shoe. Turn this around. Same instance. Right underneath. Now that your loin is trussed like so, it will ensure a nice even cook on your loin.